Okay, good afternoon. Here we are back at Swift Game Stage 5, and today I'm going to take you through my attempts at 3-step systems. This is the first time in the past 3 years where I'm actually looking at completing Swift games. Normally, like I said, I get waylaid by toddler germs, broken turbo trainer. So, being a pure sprinter, am I going to be able to hold on? Am I going to be able to hang on to the pack and finish off fairly successful Swift games? Upcoming, we've got 3-step systems, we've got Jarvis KOM, Hilly KOM, and then of course the mighty Grave in the end. It's a 30, nearly 40 kilometre course, and actually not an awful lot happened on this course. So throughout this next 12 minutes we'll be talking about Milan San Remo coming up as well, and looking at the option for Pogacar and Van der Poel. So today I decided to race the 480 group, 500 racing squad tops. My racing squad rank is about 490, 495, and given I got dropped on the last climb in stage 4, and I am trying to get some benefit out of this, not just sit in the pack and draft, I decided to race the highest possible group and try and make the race a little bit difficult. As you can see, we've got a relatively fast start at this point. Average endurance is 60 watts for the first 5 minutes, so that's really sad my car shaft. Coming up towards the first KOM, which is Jarvis. As you can see, not an awful lot happening, nobody else really wants to join in. Got one crazy Russian at the front who's average 4.1 watts per kilo throughout the whole course of the race. Kept being able to push the pace, and it was mostly the rest of us chasing him. So here we have our Jarvis KOM, K.5. Not particularly steep, a little bit like the Cipressa. Something that Pogacar is going to be notching his attack on this week. He's going to be looking to do this in under 9 minutes, which is crazy. It's about 7.5 watts a kilogram for him. Recently put his rise on Strava, where he managed to do it in 8 minutes and I think 55 seconds, which is absolutely crazy. Something I definitely can't do. You can see we see it here at 320 watts of heart rate, really absolute max, 180. As for our little race, you can see Dennis the Menace, the Russian off the front. He's using his turn out to CapCut go, and this actually surprisingly smashed the pack. If we look at the group here, this is pretty much these 5 got here, and the 5 that I finished with towards the end. So again, we've been racing for 10 minutes now. And my average is 270 watts. Again, that's 3.8 watts per kilogram for me. So that's a pretty decent hit out already. Just speeding it up here. Again, not a lot happens in between climbs. As we roll our way through the countryside here, towards Hilly KOM. So yep, coming up, Milan San Remo this Saturday. Known as the Primavera, the spring, it's traditionally the first monument of the season. First held in 1916, it's 300 odd kilometres long. It's genuinely known as the Sprinters Classic, known as one of the easiest to finish but the hardest to win. It's mostly flat until the last sort of 45 minutes of racing. We have the Cipressa and the Poggio, 2 relatively decisive cars. Attacks generally tend to come on the Poggio, but as we discussed earlier, Pogacar making his move on the Cipressa last year, and then Garner and Van der Poel were able to follow him. We're feeling it's probably going to be the same again this year. So here we are now, Hilly KOM. It's been a long ride. You can see my heart rate's gone right down there to 160 beats per minute, so I'm in pretty decent shape coming into this climb. I absolutely hate this climb. It's super steep, super long. It always catches me out. Feathers getting dropped early. 450 watts going through the pedals, that's 5.5 watts per kilogram for me, and this is about a 2.5, maybe 3 minute effort. So again, if you think about professionals riding this, you like the Van der Poels and Teddy Pogacars, they're probably going to be pushing 700 watts. Yeah, in that 1.5 minute, 2 minute efforts. So there's me dying at 180 beats per minute, pushing 420 watts. I'm absolutely suffering. But you can see the damage that it's been doing to the group here. Again, we got Dennis the Menace, the Russian up the road, joined by a German, and the American Peters. These yellow little ingrates are where I really struggle. I'd actually go with a light bike here. I went with the Xbox bench and the Alpinist wheels because I realised we had the grade at the end. So although I could stretch my lead when it's in the red and the realistic inclines, the 10s to 12%, these 3.2, 3.4s, especially when I'm hanging out, they're absolutely brutal for me. Got a 2-second gap behind me and a 1-second gap in front of me. And I kind of felt at this point that if I didn't make the group, that was me done for the race, and it was going to be another long day just pedaling along. So I know my threshold now is 270 watts. Now I can sit on that relatively comfortably. So I thought let's just dig in and see what we can do. Fortunately, the racing at the front stopped a little bit, and it gave me the opportunity to close the gap, get back in the draft, and yeah, chill out. Ish. Going back to San Remo, Merckx has won it the most, 7 times. It's only ever been stopped once in 1916, 1944 and 45, intensively, and then once in 2020 for the COVID years. Previous winners are Van der Poel, Phillips and Van der Poel making it an Alpecin triple. Mohoric in his famous drop of post won it in 2022, and Jasper in 2021. My personal favourite was the Kwiatkowski Sagan episode. Huge attacks on the Poggio, followed through to a really chaotic sprint where they nearly clashed into the guy with the line. So looking forward to this year's race. It's pretty much going to be a rematch between Pogacar and Van der Poel. Pogacar is likely going to go on the pressure again, and he's going to try and brute force it, attack loads on the Poggio and try and distance Van der Poel, because he knows he can't really hang with Van der Poel in a sprint. Be interesting to see if Pippo Garner can hold the wheel again this year. Fancy his chances in the sprint this time. And Tom Pidcock's been showing some good form, especially with his win the other day in Milan-Torino. So moving through the lowlands here in Watopia, as we're approaching the grade. As you can see, nothing's really happening. Dennis the Menace, the Russian, does push on a few times, especially over the shorter inclines, but actually nothing's going on. So for me, I'm able to sit, I'm able to recover, bringing that heart rate down to 165. That's eating and drinking like a madman on this one. Actually, I had a couple of chance because this was quite a hard effort for me. I wasn't expecting the race to be this fast, to be fair. I wasn't expecting to get in a breakaway less than halfway through and then push to the end. But as I said, there's been a lot of talk about boring racing and Swift and being caught by the blob, so it was nice to get away and then continue to push on the front. This is mostly my build up to some gravel racing towards the end of the year. So as I've said before, as happy as I am to be finishing Swift games, I'm actually not getting a huge amount of cardio benefit from this, except for this moment right here. The grade took me 14 minutes in the end. So I've got my light bike, I've got my Specialized engine, my Alpecin and my Alpinist wheels. But you can see the guys going away from me straight away. At 294 watts is 3.8, 3.9 watts a kilogram for me, so it's about as maximum I can hold, especially at the end of the race. The one thing I massively enjoyed about the grade this time was the fact you get better power up that pretty much every game the whole way up, so it keeps you moving and it keeps you kind of motivated. This is pretty much my threshold at the moment now. I'm going to be holding the whole way up. 280 to 300. It's almost a killer for me, and I'm absolutely blacked out. So how on earth these guys can push 7.5, 8 watts a kilogram for 9 minutes is just beyond me. It's insane. That's why I respect them so much, and that's why I kind of love the sport so much. It's impossible to believe that I can go that hard, that fast for that long. I've moved myself into the top 5 now. Steadily pressing on. And as I said, for my goal race towards the end of the season in August, September time, I want this 270, 280 to essentially be my zone for, which I think is possible. I've got 6 months to build on it. Do some good VO2 max sessions, do some good longevity training, some good cardiovascular stuff. I think I'm going to be able to do that. Use that punch when we do some of the races that follow attacks aggressively. So even though we're 9 minutes into this climb now, I'm still relatively comfortable at my threshold. We've managed to push above 300 at various points. That 180 beats per minute is definitely my work end of it. It's something that I can hold for. Turns out 15 minutes this time. 170 is very comfortable for me, is the threshold of it. 160 is super comfortable. Started to close a little bit. The gap over finished the minutes. I knew I was on my limits actually. I was on the rivets and actually trying to go any harder. It's going to knock me over. I've still got these 2 flashing seconds here. And if you blow at any point on this kind of green, you should just go backwards. As I said, this has taken me 17 minutes, I think, this time round. 14 minutes this time round on the grade at the end of a race. And actually, it's taken me 15 minutes at the end of the CRL before because I've blown on Milan San Remo. So there we go, there's my attempt. Zwift Games finally finished. Not bad. Finished 700 overall. That was 72,000. So pretty good effort.